would love to invite Vanessa. She's one of us. Yeah, and as you've heard today, we are so happy. So maybe Vanessa, some of us we've been trying to apply for I don't know how many years, but we've never gotten the opportunity. So maybe you can just come share with us what's the secret, and how, if you want, like how do we go about it for some of us who have the dream of maybe going to study outside, to abroad, I mean. So kindly let's give a clap to Vanessa as she comes. Thank you. Makofi zenyu ni za uchoyo, simupige makofi.
Praise God. I am ambushed, but I don't know what to say. I have very few words. For those who don't know me, my name is Jane Vanessa Chiwo. I'm a firstborn daughter. As you've heard today, I'm relocating to Australia, specifically the city of Sydney. This program, the master's degree in medical biotechnology, it's a scholarship program. So how I got about it is there's normally seasons that the universities abroad usually post the vacancies for the scholarship as well as their programs, if I may say. So there's normally the July intake and the September. So before that, there's that opening of the scholarships. I don't know if the major ones that I know of, the UK ones, the Chevening Scholarship. Australia, there's also the award scholarship. So there's so many scholarships being awarded, but it depends with the seasons of the program, if I may say. So I've been applying for this scholarship for a while. There are times that I apply, it gets rejected, I apply. So I won't say it's something that I did on my own. It's by God's grace and mercy that I was able to get the scholarship, but I didn't stop at one failure of rejection. It was just upon applying and applying and applying and trusting God that He will open a door. And He did. So I will just encourage you to, like I said, just confess your dreams to God. God always hears. So don't stop listening and praying to God. He will always answer you at His appointed time, not yours. Because this came as a surprise and I didn't expect it, but kwa mapenzi ya Mungu ndio imefanyika. So that is the best. And one more thing, if I may add, if I may encourage you, have prayerful friends. Friends play a big part in your life. Through your friends, you can get the network, you can get the connection, and through your friends, you can get an easing of your burden. Make sure the friends that are around your circle are God-given friends who are able to carry your burden with you and who are able to walk with you. Thank you.
That was wisdom. Thank you, Vanessa. Let's clap for her again. So Vanessa, we congratulate you on behalf of the team. We congratulate you and we wish you all the best, and we shall continue praying for you, and indeed we will miss you, particularly the drama club. I know we shall, the Beacon crew, we will miss you dearly. So now I would love to invite Brother Kolo to come and take charge. Clap for him as he comes.
Let's give Sami and Quinta another hands of applause. Asanteni sana. Of course, the mobilization team, they do a good job. Mine is very simple, just to invite the speaker. And then after that, sorry, I thought people are going to the beach, but I've been advised that you're practicing here. at Serani. Sorry for that mix-up. The practice will be at Serani, but this is very important, especially right now. You know, the way people are going to move on, and some of us will be hosted. How do you carry yourself when you go to somebody's house or home? Etiquette, probably polite behavior. And we are very honored and privileged today to have one of our own. And I usually say God has really blessed this church. People who they can sit at a far end corner, but they have a wealth of experience, a wealth of wisdom, unlikely wisdom that you'll not find. When they tell you something, it will reverberate and it will help you many, many years down the line. And she's just seated amongst you. And when you clearly look at that photo, I mean, that photo was even in the spirit. Look at the person at the center. That's one of the daughters. It was one of the graduation. Look at the smiling dad, an elder in the church, and she's a deaconess. Beautiful family. How I pray that all of us, today we are inviting her and you are seeing that family. One day somebody will be inviting you and your family photo will be there. Can I hear an amen? Samia amesema amen ya nguvu. So, what I want you to do is please listen, take notes. Use that phone also to take notes, not to reply on messages, but to take notes. Then ask and be as real as possible. So it is my pleasure once again to invite Madam Sophie Nyaga, who happens to be the principal of Nkrumah High School. She's been the choir director for many, many years. Hii choir mnayonanga mali imefika. She's the person who started it off to bring it to where it has been. And she's a leader, not only in the community, but also outside there. And of course, she's a wife with a very beautiful family. Amesomesha mpaka university. It is my honor and privilege to invite Madam Sophie. Tusimame tumpigie makofi. Tusimame tumpigie makofi. And allow me to say one thing. If there is somebody who has supported the youth among the many, it is her. And she does it with the clean heart, with the love for the young people. Unaona deacons wako na play, anawatoa shule a whole bus. Yeye as the principal. Signature yake, very important. That's what God-given authority does. Na wanakuja hapa, and she pays for all of them to watch the play. Not once, not twice. Tumpigie tena makofi. Karibu sana.
Munipigie tena makofi. Praise the Lord. I'm one person, sipendi kusimama hapa sana. Niambie darasa sina shida. Lakini hapa, upako huko. So I have to be careful how I stand here. Weza kuwa ni mwalimu wa miaka mingi, lakini kwa nyumba ya Bwana, wewe si mwalimu. You're just a child of God, sharing with other brethren, all of us endeavoring to ensure that we get to heaven. Bwana asifiwe. It's my joy and with a lot of humility to be able to stand before you to share on the topic of etiquette. Kitambo tulikuwa tunaita deportment. Yani ilikuwa kabla hamjaenda move on, munafundishwa kitu kinaitwa deportment. Alafu ika-upgrade, leo tunaita etiquette. Lakini this is not a topic ambayo hatujui, ni mambo ambayo pia mnyi mnajua. So I'm not the expert on etiquette, but we will share from the experiences we have had, and by the grace of God, utapiki ile ambayo itakusaidia maishani. Praise the Lord. Nataka niulize swali. And in 30 minutes I'll be done. Ni kwamba siwezi kupita tu ni mkanyage alafu muulize na wewe mbona umeweka mguu nje and then you pass. No. That I should be able to see, oh, I've hurt you. I'm sorry. Thank you. But you expect, thank you, David. David expects, and most of us expect that somebody will knock the door. Is that right? Ama nyinyi kwenu ni? Ama wewe ni beshte mpaka you just march in? Hata kama ni beshte, we expect naturally you'll knock, isn't it? And you will greet the owners of the house. Huingii na kuanza, vipi? Hodi, hi, mkwazima, and you're already seated. Wait for somebody to tell you, welcome. Sindio? Those are some of the basic things we expect you to know. That when you walk into somebody's office, you are not looking for a chair first. You greet first. May I kindly speak to? But nowadays, we have this one of, hi, mambo. And it's an office. Courtesies have gone under the carpet. That's why I want to bring us to what is the importance. Before we come to the categories of etiquette, I bring you to the importance of etiquette. We've started with the pillar. I've defined for you, then let's look at the importance. Why is it important? Why not give me my space? Mbona ukikaa huko? I mean, it's my choice, my life, my choice. There's one who was telling me, so a teacher alikuwa amekuja shule, amekata longi, no si kukata, ni ile design, si alikata. Alienda dukani akaangalia zote zimeshonwa akaona ile ya kukata ndio nataka. Sasa akawa amekatakata na amekuja shule. na t-shirt maandishi kama yote. Na alipofika nikamuuliza, ulikuwa unaenda wapi? Akasema alikuwa anakuja kazini. So nikamuuliza hivi, akasema, what has this got to do with this? Okay. That shocked me because I had not thought of that. I said, by the way, yeah? Ndio nikamuuliza, na hawa watoto, what has this got to do with this? Okay, for me, this and this might be separate. Yule mtoto darasani, this and this, is it separate? Naye akanijibu, yeah, by the way. Nikamuuliza, wakiona this, will they understand this? Akasema, they'll concentrate on this. Nikamuuliza, and your purpose for here, is it this or this? Akasema, this, but I can't come naked. Then I say, yeah, you can't come naked. But if this confuses this, then there is a problem. Say, look for this that will not block this, so that the child can concentrate. That brings me to why should we have etiquette? Number one, for the sake of impression that will be agreeable to the environment that you are in. For the sake of impression, because there is expected behavior, and your behavior normally determines how people understand you. So that that impression you give remains in the mind of those that you met, but should be positive. Don't leave and they are saying, that one should not come again. We will get to the environment of that. Don't go for an interview, and because your etiquette is so bad, you leave that interview and never get the job, na unarudi kwa pastor, jamani niombe. Na kumbe ni mambo tu na etiquette. Hata hataki Holy Spirit. Number two, we ensure we have etiquette so that we can interact amicably with the people around us, for interaction's sake. Hakuna mtu anataka kukaa peke yake. Hata yule mchawi hutafuta wachawi wenzake. None of us ni mchawi, so we need us to be together even more. Even the bad person, for as long as they are human, wanatafutana. You need human warmth. Why is it that you get depressed when you don't have people who like you? They talk ill of you, then you feel low. Check your etiquette. What is the kind of impression you are giving? So basically, for the sake of amicable interaction, you need to have good behavior. Now, in what circumstances is etiquette best exemplified? Where do we see it most? Everywhere. Socially, at weddings, at funerals, family setups, and anywhere within in the church. You're going to meet people, and what do they expect? Respect. They expect you to be able to communicate effectively. Communication especially. Wacha nisimame hapo. Get to know whom you are talking to, and get to know how to talk to them. Why? Society already has a guideline. An older person, huwezi kwenda mambo. It's unspoken, but it's there. I was once unwell, then I went to hospital. The generation that are doctors right now are all young people. But there's this that technology has done, that even the doctor can have earphones and you are telling him your condition. I can't understand that. Eye contact is something that I need when I'm talking to you, then it helps me know you understand what I am saying. So I get to hospital, I had a stiff neck. And then when I sat there was this young person. And I'm looking at this person and thinking, hey, huyu alisoma lini? But then, yeye ndio daktari. So I start talking, hey, I have a headache, I have a stiff neck. Na ako kwa simu. Okay. Na ako na earphones. Tell me what impression you'd have if you were, okay, probably I might not understand. You are the same age, around the same age. What would you understand by that? You are talking to a doctor, and the doctor has earphones. Na ana browse. Na anakuambia, How would you feel? You feel like this person doesn't really bother about you. It's about your life. We are talking about communication. When you are talking to somebody, keep eye contact. Don't move all the time. Sasa, nilikuwa nakwambia, just talk. And who you are talking to matters, the language you use. Be polite, be cautious, and use words that will communicate what you want to say politely. Anger issues will be addressed later, but when communicating, kindly be clear. Eye contact is important, and then get to the point of what you're saying. Depending on the age, the universal communication norm would be that universally we expect greeting before you talk. Don't barge in on a conversation. When people are talking, say, excuse me, kindly may I talk to you? And then you'll be told, give me a minute. Step back and wait. Don't listen in on the conversation. Umeenda kwa wenyewe. Wanazungumza yao. You can see this is a family talk. We basi unataka ukae hapo. What do we say in Mombasa? Wambea. Wambea. Hautaki uvivu. Yataka time. Umbea tu. So don't become a mbea in a home, in a family, or wherever you go to visit. Excuse the family. Watakwambia welcome. Come and join us. Lakini usiingie, barge in, you're sitting there. You can see this. They need their family time. We unataka pia ukae pale. Excuse yourself politely and step back. Allow them to have their time. If you have to communicate with an older person, kindly, don't communicate with an older person unless, of course, you're relaxed and you're having a chit-chat. But it's also good to just sit, relaxed, but in a respectful way. Lakini kama wewe ndio umecross over mguu, na yeye sasa ndio mzee anaongea, ongea sasa. Bring it on. No. Heshima kidogo tu. Just sit up and then just talk in a relaxed way so that your body language communicates you are not tense. Ukikaa hivi, you are very tense. In fact, you're waiting to run away. It's like, maliza nitoke. Just sit relaxed and communicate, eye contact kama unaweka. Na meanwhile, tafadhali, your choice of words zitakuwa encouraging. We are talking about the setups where we have where we normally have etiquette shown that comes out clearly. We are talking about social setups, and that your communication must be right. Also your interaction, male, female. Umeingia huko hata kama ni kwa rafiki yako. You are together in church. She is of a different gender. Wewe ni mbele, kifua tayari. You know, the young people, si mnajua tu, mambo mengi, si mbaya. Si mbaya, lakini, what are you communicating? What setup are you doing this? Because in our African setup, sisi hatujaenda uzunguni bado. Nani Vanessa ndio ataenda arudi atuambie. Kabla hatujaenda atupashe. There is an unspoken code of behavior within our African setup where we talk about gender boundaries. Haiwezekani kwamba utaonekana sawa, wewe umeona my sister, tunashirikiana kanisani, haleluya, na tunaenda ni kifua tayari. Ndio mnapendana, lakini sasa mumeoana. That is a problem with our African perception on relationship. Let me not call it a problem. That is what it is. Respect for gender is key. We are good friends, but let's not give impression of what we are not. I cannot be a general friend to David, na tunatembea tumeshikana mikono, hadharani mbele ya watu, and then if I stop you and ask, somebody stops and asks, you know David is my son, so it's okay, I can use him. Then somebody asks David, are you in a relationship with that lady? Then he says, no, we are just friends. Okay, and I have a girlfriend. No, I didn't say you have. But I have a girlfriend. So if this girl comes on, okay, akija, anikute mimi nimeshikana na yeye mkono, will she understand? Na wewe utarudi useme, there's nothing. Hapa tu ni, we are just no, don't give impression of what is not there. And when we are going to people's homes, the more reason why you cannot, mimi nishikane ama one of you, a young man and a lady, say sisi tumekuja move on ama tumeenda kutembelea a family, we have no relationship na tumeingia pale tunataka kukaa pamoja. Tutakuwa tuna send the wrong signal. Normally we encourage. If you do not want to be misunderstood, we are on etiquette, behavior, social behavior. If you do not want to be misunderstood, tembeeni watatu. 2 men, 1 lady. 2 ladies, 1 man. I'm sure I'm talking Greek. Manake you're looking at me like, ujua unatuambia mambo ya before. Wacha niwaambia before and then you customize it to now. Because our social norms have not changed. The way people look at how you behave has not changed. It is you who has changed the behavior to be misunderstood, and then tomorrow you are depressed. Wewe unakuwa mgonjwa because people have misunderstood you. You're at your workplace. That brings me to the other social setup. The workplace. You work with people, and within the organization, beyond the organization, we have the universal etiquette, where you're expected to be well-groomed. But this particular organization has its other code, because it has its own business etiquette that governs the company. But the one that governs the company requires that you also should have interacted. Your interaction skills should be good. You cannot interact with your workmates because of your space and your lane. Then your productivity is questioned. And when they do the monthly appraisal, unapatikana, you're scoring very low, probably on communication, on teamwork, on integrity issues, then you come up and say, nachukiwa. Ask yourself, why should one worker hapo kazini aitwe that's a good worker? Ni nini ambayo ako nayo? You will find that is what the etiquette at workplace inaitwa soft skills. Soft skills, ile ambayo mlikuwa mmeona, is still etiquette, but within a workplace. Ambayo on a wider scale, kama ungekuwa you are an interactive person, na heshima at workplace haitasumbua. So teamwork, communication, umezoea kuongea na heshima from out there. When you get a job, it will just be enhanced. Umezoea kuwa honest. Sija kuja hapa pa kuokoka kwanza. Sija ingiza wokovu, bado tunaongea. You are used to being honest. Train up a child the way they should go, and when they grow up, Mungu amekujalia ukawa raised to know all those values. When you get into a workplace situation, it turns not to etiquette but soft skills. You are interactive, you are a good team player, you are respectful, you know your place. These are things that are called skills, meaning hata kama hukureiziwa nazo, you can learn them. You can learn them so that you now practice them and it becomes a habit. You might not have seen, because of the different communities we come from. If you come from where I come from, where Umazi's mother comes from, when you are greeting, you lift the hand with 2 hands. I don't know how, and you have 2 hands. How you lift your hand heavily, unashika. Hiyo ndio heshima. You'll go to another community, heshima ni uweke mikono pamoja, but bado ni heshima. And you speak in a low voice. The ability to determine where you are, within the community you are, or where you are working, or with the people you have, what their nature, their interpretation of respect is, will also help you to be able to be called respectful. So the flexibility, to accommodate what society terms as etiquette is very important. I've invited you to my house. Uamke asubuhi, unaingia bathroom. Kwanza unapita na towel kwa kiuno. Si kwako, ni kwangu. Na unapita na towel kwa kiuno. Unaingia bathroom and you are very happy. And you know, Elder Nyaga is the owner of the house, but you are more owner than the owner. Na utoke bathroom, na usikumbuke hata kuiosha. Kwanza umeniomba towel, ukaniomba toothbrush kama niko na extra. Hiyo yote kulikuwa kuna mtu na wimbo tabia mbaya. Those are things that we are talking about etiquette. Unajua kwamba ukiingia kwa mtu, for example, we are talking about etiquette, si ndio? Ukiingia kwa mtu, heshima, first study the mood. Na pia uwe uko tayari kuambiwa, hapa ndio vile tunafanya. Lakini wana expect nawe mambo kama ukiamka, umetandika kitanda. Ukitoka kwa room, first of all, umebeba nguo, carry your own sheet. Siku hizi watu hawashevi tu. Carry your own sheet. Beba mswaki wako. Beba everything, mpaka sabuni yako. Hata kama ni kwenu, hata kama unaenda kutembelea kwenu. Carry your personal effects. Kutoka kwa bedroom, kwenda kwa bathroom, usitembee bila nguo. Kuwa na heshima, si ndio? kitanda tandika, si kwako. Rumu safisha wakati mnatoka. And practice this with your friend. Imagine they are looking at me like, huko siendi. Joseph utakuja. Alafu hata asije slip, atakataa kuja slip off. Ukienda bathroom, jifunike kiheshima. Ladies, huwa mnapenda mko Mombasa. Ni leso. Kama utafunga leso, jifunike nyingine juu. Don't expose yourself in somebody's house like that. It's not respectful. The bathroom, tumia bathroom umalize safishe. Hiyo choo. Fanya kweli. Sawa? Just make sure that when you leave, hakuna sign kwamba ulikuwa uko hapo. Kuna kitu mama alinifundisha akasahau, Mama Nzinga alinifunza akasahau, nilimkumbusha kwamba hata akaniona nafanya alafu anashangaa, bado unafanya. Huko nyuma tulikuwa tunafundishwa hata ukitoka osha hiyo sheet ambao umelalia, so that mwingine naye akija apate nafasi ya kupata kama iko safi, na usimwachie mzigo mwenye nyumba. It's also good manners. Na kabla hujaondoka, mumesaviwa chakula. It is good manners. Kwanza uliza pale unaweza ukasaidia. Kama utalala pale, si kuna mtu atakupikia. Si kuna mtu atakushughulikia. Politely after settling in, just ask, where can I help? Wengi wetu hata huko nyumbani we don't help. So hata mkienda kwa mwingine unashangaa una help aje. Kwa hivyo tutakuwa na help. Ukienda kwa mwingine hata kama uko kwenu, huwa we help. Can you kindly request tuone ni wapi, where can I help? Mkisaviwa chakula, tafadhali ondoa sahani yako, request upeleke jikoni, and if possible isafishe. Osha sahani yako na kikombe. You are thinking I've come from mass. Osha. Kwa nini? Think about, you're using the principle of considering others. Pale ambapo unajua, let me not leave this place na niwe nimekuwa ni kama mzigo kwa huyu ambaye amenikaribisha. You can practice that, by the way, inakuwa very natural, si ngumu. We are talking about living. Wakati unaondoka, kabla hujaondoka, you have been accommodated for the number of days umekuwa pale. Si ukae tu washukuru. Tell them thank you. Thank you, God bless you. It is just good to be thankful. Alafu ndio muondoke. Wako na gari na pengine wanakupa lift, usijipeleke mbele mbele. Wewe ndo unataka kukaa mbele, sasa wewe ndo unajua njia. Ati wewe ndo mgeni. Watakuambia kwa kukaa. Watakuambia karibu, you sit at the back. Sophie, come in and sit at the front. Watakuambia si wewe useme unajua, manake umezoea magari. Hapana, tukue na kaheshima kidogo. We are talking about where God helping you. It's not a rule, but God helping you. When you know you're going to stay at a place, why not carry something? Chochote kile. Ni maziwa, ni kasukari. Aki Joseph is so amused. Why? Yani si wale ndio wanaenda kunilisha. Si mimi ndio naenda kuwa tembelea, si wani ngoje. God helping you, inawezekana huwezi, it's okay. But Mungu akikuwezea, ukibeba kamaziwa kamoja na mkate na sukari, unapunguzia yule pia. I mean, kuna ile at least kuna watu wanafurahi. Na usiwe wewe ukifika huko wendo unakuwa pastor. Wendo unajua kuwaita jioni waombe, ndio mkalale. Tuseme pengine ni crusade mumeenda. Let the owners of the house, you fit in with the program of the house. Tuko pamoja? Na sitaki kusema kwamba it's dogmatic. We are saying etiquette. Hakuna shule utaenda kufundishwa etiquette. Hakuna college na hakuna degree. Lakini you are supposed to be observant. You are supposed to be ruled by being considerate. Alafu umeona kitu, si uchukue friji wewe, ndio wameleta maharage lakini kawaida wewe na maharage hamu. Ndio unaanza kuuliza, hakuna kitu kingine? Kula kidogo. Kama ni maharage basi upendi, si ukule ile supu. Like me. Mnajua my problem? Sima na maharage. Ama sima na pojo. Me those two things separate kwa mdomo. Ni kwanza nikule maharage nimalize, alafu nikule sima. Or I eat sima and then I eat maharage. Huwa haziendani. Mama aliniambia ni uluya. That's okay. Manake I think culturally kwetu ukiona mtu anakula sima na maharage kwake kuna njaa. Yaani kuku wote watakuwa walisha. Ama tuseme kutakuwa hakuna mboga. Unajua vile wana mboga mpaka kila kitu ni mboga. Sasa utakuwa umeishiwa. Maharage huwa inaenda na mahindi, si hati ni mboga. So I guess I was cultured that way mpaka sasa haziendani. But if I'm going to visit, na nimekuja kwa kolo, na kumeletwa ni sima na maharage, wewe umezoea pizza na hamburger, leo unaiangalia hivi, usianze hakuna kitu kingine. Etiquette, utakula hata kama ni kidogo, and then ushukuru. Ushukuru kwa chakula. Don't enter the fridge without permission. Don't ask for what is not there. Hiyo si hoteli. Chai ni strong tea. They are taking black tea for that day. Wewe usianze kuuliza. Ama maziwa, wewe umezoea Brookside, imeletwa maziwa ambayo jina hujui. Ati hii ni maziwa gani? Mount Kenya. Kindly let us appreciate when visiting homes or social setups. Kindly let's just fit in with what is there, be thankful. Alafu baadaye wewe ukirudi kule unaenda, ukipiga kona hivi, tafuta pizza ukule, then you will fill up the gap. Interviews. As you enter the interview room, kwanza tuangalie code of dress. Jua when it is official, jua when it is sports, jua when it is wakati wa kwenda church. Get to know the different types of mavazi. So, kama ni wakati, like normally if you're working, an unspoken policy, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, in the public service, official. Hakuna mtu atakwambia. If you are ever to work anywhere, have official wear, have sports wear, have casual wear. Friday, it's official casual. So you can't put on a t-shirt to work. You cannot put on jeans to, na hizi za kubana zinaitwa nini? Hizo, to work. There's one lady nilimuuliza, umemaliza kuvaa ama ndio ulikuwa umeanza? I was not sure because amekuja kazini Na akame, a very nice, she looked nice. I think in a different setup, she would look very nice. It was short, a tight something with a slit. First it's short, and then it has a slit, and then she had very high shoes. And then I'm thinking, huyu hakumaliza kuvaa, alikuwa ameanza. So I genuinely asked her, ulimaliza kuvaa? And she said, yes. I'm looking nice. I told her, no, not in this setup. Why? You should know the difference between official, sportswear, and casual. It's very important. The same goes to where you're working. If you're in the medical field, you are in the education field, you are an engineer, there's also etiquette that is specific to where you're working. So you go for an interview for that particular job. Can you do a background research? Do a background research of what is required that would help you at least gain advantage. Don't just say because you're going for an interview for a job, then you can go anyhow. Even the mimi niko. You know, we have that mentality of this is me. Nobody should interfere with this is my choice. This is my passion. Passion is good, but there is etiquette in society. You live with people. So as you go for the interview, kindly make sure you've done your research. You are able to fit in with the image of the doctor, the nurse, the teacher, the journalist, the engineer that they are looking for. Once you get in with your papers, stand. Greet them and stand. Wait. They will tell you, have a seat. But you don't arrive there because umezoea mtaa, wewe ni ndo mwenyewe, ushaingia ni ushaketi, unangoja ni vipi? So once you get in, stand, they will tell you, and then greet them. How are you, sir? With a smile. And don't be tense. And then they will ask you, probably take a seat. Can you put your papers, give your papers? For those who do that, those that do online interviews, that's a different thing. But I'm talking about face-to-face. Then you sit, and don't sit folded forward. Don't sit sloppishly in the chair. Sit up and look confident. Waiting, like you guys, I'm just waiting. At that time, your heart is beating. So that is etiquette. And answer the questions precisely. What you don't know, just say, I'm sorry, sir, or madam, I might not be able to answer that question. I don't know. You know, politely. Kolo told us etiquette is about polite behavior. As we finish, I want to remind you something. As you visit people in their homes, different homes go through different challenges. If somebody has opened their door to you to come to their home, it is a sign that they love you. It is wrong for you because you are comparing this home with another home. You come from there with stories about where you are and take them out there. The sofa set color, the bed was creaking, the plates were how. We have that kind of behavior that goes on. It's very wrong. What you see, what you hear, leave it there. And then when you go out, one thing you're grateful to God, somebody opened their home for you to go there. Are we together? Now, the summary of all this is simple. What a man thinketh. From which book is that? My Bible students. Proverbs. Is it Proverbs 5:10? What a man thinketh, that's what he is. Okay? What a man thinketh, that's what he is. Then what does Paul tell us? All things that are pure, all things that are good, all things that have virtue, honor, think about, because what you think is what you become. Now, what you become shows from how you behave. Are we together? We have an advantage being children of God. Why? Because the Bible already has set for us etiquette. Consider others above, some versions talk of preferring others above you. So, if you're talking about consideration, being honest, the 10 Commandments already have told you, do not steal. Do not, do not, Already, behavior etiquette has already been outlined for you, child of God. Unlike somebody else who doesn't have faith in God, you do not have to struggle. Because if you are born again, filled with the Holy Ghost, Galatians 5:22 is the summary of the fruits that come out of you. Can I get somebody? Hata kama ulisahau Galatians 5, there is a song about Galatians 5. The best way, I'm not very good at remembering books and verses, but I put it in a song. Sasa, Galatians 5 inasemaje? The fruits of the Spirit are against such hakuna sheria. The fruits of the Spirit are love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, self-control, and what? Nibasi. Above such, there is no law. Umeokoka. Umejazwa na Roho Mtakatifu. If any other fruit is coming out of you, in terms of etiquette, tabia ambayo iko kando na hiyo, kweli ni Roho Mtakatifu ako ndani? You will not struggle with teamwork when it comes to soft skills at your place of work. Because love in itself is a summary of so much good that comes out of you. By the way, wewe mtoto wa Mungu huna choice. Because Jesus, wherever he went, what did he do? He did good. Jesus is the epitome of etiquette. Wherever he went, he did good. And you being a disciple of the Lord cannot do anything else. In fact, wewe ungekuwa unatafuta kufanya mema tu. Yani because you don't have any other job description. You must do good. You are obligated to do good. Goodness comes out of the fruit of the Spirit that is in you. So, children of God, as we go out there and interact, even with one another, first, let us seek to do good to one another through our behavior. With 3 considerations: respect one another. Respect for one another means our communication skills will be better than what we are saying. There's a place, I think, 2 Thessalonians, where Paul talks about let no corrupt conversation come out of our mouth. That is communication skills. We must speak with a lot of respect with one another. Consider one another above everybody else. And be flexible and accommodative. Ukiambiwa kuwa msikivu, obedience has its fruits that are not of the devil. Nimesikia hapa mkiambiwa songa. That was the first etiquette test. Songeni mkae mbele. Now that group come. And the seats are still empty up to now. Now that's on a light note, but I'm saying let us be obedient first to the word, and all these other things as we seek the Lord. What you are lacking, you can trust God to train in it. It is a skill and the Lord will give you. Bwana asifiwe. Otherwise, I want to thank God for each one of you. Sijasema mna tabia mbaya. And don't say that Kolo brought etiquette manake alionaona tu vitu. Hakuona tu vitu. This is a daily thing. Daily interactions can bring about, it can bring about a lot of conflict, not because you are bad, but just because hukufunzwa. Wengine, we had the opportunity of God giving us God-fearing parents, strict ones. Some were so strict. Sisi tulikuwa na etiquette by force, by fire. My dad was an army man. He used to think the whole family was a military camp. By the way, it took me long to know kwamba wimbo wa taifa, unajua siku hizo ilikuwa ni VOK. There was only one channel, VOK. Na ikianza kufunguka, walikuwa wanaimba wimbo wa taifa na bendera ina pepea, ndio mnajua kwamba kituo kinafunguka. All of us would stand. We were 14 of us. We would stand at attention. Because wimbo wa taifa, long after my dad had gone, I used to stand alone even in the kitchen. Nikisikia wimbo wa taifa. I'm saying, some of us had the opportunity to be raised into etiquette by force, by fire. Some have not. But God is giving you a chance to reflect. Look at yourself. What is it I'm lacking? What is it that is causing me to become like, what can I say? People don't like coming near me because they say this tabia ni mbaya. I pick my nose. I talk bad. I behave badly around others. I am selfish. Those are things that the Lord can help you. Like today when we were being talked about cravings, those are things the Lord can turn around in your life so that we all have good behavior. As you visit other people, you go there as a blessing and not a burden. Otherwise, may God bless you. I want to return the meeting back to Kolo. Please clap for me. Even if you are asleep.
I've requested her to remain so that we have a session for questions before she can sit, and then one of us will give a vote of thanks. So again, we can ask maybe 2 questions from boy child, 2 questions from girl child. Let it be real question, interactive. Yes. Wa kwanza kuuliza swali? Yes, Sami. Karibu. Quinta, you can take over this session.
My question is, what if you visit a family that their etiquette is, let's say, on a lower standard than yours? Are you also supposed to swing in and leave?
Thank you very much. I don't know that to take all the questions and then later answer them at a go.
Okay. Any other person with another question?
Okay, I'm speaking for probably the ladies. Sometimes you may visit people when it's that time of the month. What are you supposed to do? Do you announce to the people, to the lady of the house, or how do you carry yourself at that time?
Okay. Thank you. Any other question?
Now that we are doing sports, is there something like sports etiquette?
Okay. Thank you. Maybe last one. Okay.
Mine is just a simple one. In case maybe you are hungry, they have served you a very small portion. So, what do you do?
Okay.
Tuanze na hiyo Alan. Umesafiri kwanza, una njaa, yani na ile imewekwa ni kama ya mtu mmoja na mko watu wanne. I think, Alan, it is polite for you to just take what you're given. You might sleep hungry. You might sleep hungry for the day, but if everyone else is getting that portion, imagine if you say you want more, where will they get it from? But probably, as you are eating, they might ask, do you want some more? Now, when they say that, you'll say, thank you, just a little. So, when they ask whether you need some more, kindly respond politely and get a share. And I'm sure you won't even get full, even that one also, but just go ahead. Number 2, we are coming from down going up. Zekolo said about sports etiquette. Sports etiquette is there. Apart from the rules of each sports game, which you must adhere to, but the general one is when we are going for sports, let's try first of all and dress in a way that is decent, with a lot of decorum, knowing that we are going to jump up and down so that we don't end up being like King David. So we try not to expose ourselves so much. And if it is a sport that has a mixed gender, in the name of playing, we try to avoid a lot of body contact. And even if we have to discuss about our team, let's avoid ile ya sasa ndio, without the hand there, bado hiyo point ya hiyo game haingiani. We try to avoid a lot of body contact, and we focus on the goal of the game. If in the process in future, God calls you kujoin with the one you were discussing, hiyo ni sawa, lakini let's not use it like us, especially in schools. It has become a forum, a lot of immorality. So we are saying kuwe na heshima katika mavazi na katika communication, one to another, especially the mixed gender. Sijui kama nimekujibu. Nimeanza. Kulikuwa na swali ya? Yes. Those ladies that go to visit, and probably it's that time of the month. Number 1, where you're going, you don't know their disposal mechanisms. So it is good when you are leaving, have a way that you're going to collect all that you need to dispose together in one bag. And if you're going to a place where there's the lady of the house, kindly call her aside, inform her of your status, and inquire from her where you can dispose of whatever you need to dispose. It's very important. If there is it's only a gentleman, you've gone to visit, even your own home, probably unakuta hakuna a lady, because where you came from, you knew your status, you had carried your disposal bag, can you go back with it? Pack. Don't start talking to the man of the house, telling him, ha, ha, ha. But if you notice that probably there is a latrine outside, not the water closet, toilets, you are able to dispose of it there if you realize that's what happened. Some latrines don't allow. Some pit latrines, it's not allowed to dispose of the pads. But if it is something that you notice, probably from your observation, it can be disposed of, do that. But don't start burning those pads behind the house. The owner doesn't know. You don't even know that is what they do. We umeamua tu usafi lazima nidumishe. And then you start burning. Kindly consult. If there's no other way, you better pack, go back with them. And then you will dispose them at your next destination. But that's only if there is no lady of the house. The first one was? Sami, remind me. Yes, level of etiquette. Umeenda huko na they are as wild as anything. I'm hoping you don't go to such places, you know. I don't, number one, I do not expect that the people you are associating with are that, I don't know when you talk about level of etiquette. One, I want to believe they are brethren. If they are not, but they are people at least who are modest. I do not expect they will want to convince you to change to their religion or to force you to go to their wild places, but definitely you have your faith in God. You are only allowed to associate with things that will not compromise your faith. If they are of a contrary faith, they already know whom they are welcoming. So it will be wrong for you to, for example, it is in the evening and in this home, ikifika jioni wote ni wainuke waanze kudance. Na wewe pia uko umo. Manake you are trying to be accommodated, that would be wrong. I think it would be good for you to say you have no problem, it's only that your faith does not allow. Politely. Your faith should not be compromised in any way, in any of the areas you'd be accommodated. Some will go to India, some will go to Saudi. Mom walipoenda India told us, there, for them to accept even to preach the gospel, I mean, to feel like part of them, you have to put on hizo nguo zao, you know, the long ones, the nice ones. And I think it will depend on what you are being asked to do. So kindly do not compromise on your etiquette, which is rooted in the word, especially where your faith itakuwa compromised. Utaenda kwa nyumba. We visited people. They are elders in a church, a different church. Na ni uko kwetu. Sasa unajua kule, au wakurukaruka usiku can even be pastors, you know, hizo makanisa za nyumbani. Sasa kumbe ikifika saa 6 za usiku, huwa wanachomoka. The night runners. So in visiting, because we knew we were visiting leaders wa kanisa, and we had come from Mombasa with a group. I wasn't married then. So ikifika towards saa 5, we are preparing to go to sleep. Wametupa room yetu, lakini hatukuona kama wana haraka kulala. But we didn't understand. Ndio the lady politely asked us, would you want to go for a walk at around 11:30 hivi? Then I'm thinking, walk, si watu wanalala. Then the colleagues, my colleagues wakasema, wow, we would want to see Kakamega in the night. Lakini tulikuwa tuko ndani kidogo. Waone vile kuko, manake ni wageni. Mimi nikakumbuka, hii ni saa 6, zinaenda saa 6. Na hawa wanaenda kutembea saa 6. So I called them and told them, I don't think it's wise for you to go. You know, tomorrow we are going to have a hard day. Situlale tu. And then one of them, machachari, akasema yeye ataenda. But now yeye ndio akawa anawachelewesha. She thought they were going out. So yeye ni kujipamba, kujitayarisha. Kumbe guys, when they go, hiyo midnight run hiyo, mnaendanga vile mlivo. So she took so long, but what I got to learn later was, finally she didn't go. Because ikienda kufika midnight, they started making certain sounds. Unajua ni kama lazima waende. So I told them, niliwaambia msiende, hizo sounds hazitoki mbali, zinatoka kwa sitting room. Waambie waende. So I'm talking about like somebody wanting to compromise you. Of course, that's an extreme case. But I'm trying to say that's what he's saying, where you find yourself in a situation where you'll get compromised. Ni wachawi wa usiku. Na wamekuambia twende na wewe safari. Surely utaenda. Usiende. na ulijikuta hapo. So they didn't go, but they ran around and I think they came back towards morning. They were very tired. And then in the morning, nani mzee akavaa clock, akaenda kanisani, na tukaendelea na maisha, but we stayed there for only one day and took off. Ujue ukishajua hivyo ukai sana. So I'm saying don't compromise. You might find yourself in those cases. Don't compromise your faith. Etiquette does not change when it comes to your faith. Anybody with any other question? Yes. Victor.
In that same issue ya chakula, there's this situation where umesaviwa chakula alafu iko nyingi, alafu katikati ukashiba, na si vizuri kurudisha sahani ikiwa na chakula. What do you do?
Kuna kitu, there is a statement in mother tongue, I don't know whether it's in Kikuyu ama ni Kibaluya. Wajua mimi ni Mkikuyu na ni Mbaluya. Macho imekushindia tu tumbo. Where we say either ulisaviwa hii chakula kwa kupenda, ama kwa hiyo nyumba hiyo ndio standard ya kusaviwa chakula. Manake inaweza kuwa ulipoiona umezoea, alafu ukikula ukarealize haiendi, sasa hata sijui nitaachaje, ama ndio wamekusavia hivyo jikoni wakakuletea. I think it's important when you go to somebody's place, weka chakula ile utamaliza. Ukiona umeletewa chakula nyingi, politely request them, hii chakula ni nyingi, and before I touch it so that somebody else can use it, kindly let's reduce the amount. Na kama huna hakika tumbo yako size ikoje, manake you are hungry, anza na kidogo umalize, and then uulize kama bado iko hapo, you can ask kama utaongeza. Tafadhali. So usianze kula ifike katikati ndio ugundue uwezi kumaliza. Sawa Victor, nimekujibu. Is there anybody else with a question?
Bado hapo kwa chakula hapo. Asa kuna unaweza enda ugenini na ni mambo ya self service. Asa jamaa uko hapo, maybe ile ni kitu napenda, lakini sasa unajua atakana ujue mko watu wengi. Maybe you can comment on that. Ushaelewa hiyo swali nauliza.
Thank you very much. I know what Patrick is saying. Mko wengi, chakula kimewekwa hapo ni self service, ukianza wewe ushamalizia wengine wote. Remember the principle of ethics, being considerate, isn't it? Remembering kuna wengine, hata kwenu nyumbani tu. Kabla hujaanza kujipakulia, uliza tunakula sote. Wengine pale nyumbani anza kuuliza kama mwala nyote. Lakini kama wewe ndo wa kwanza, weka kidogo. Uko ugenini bwana, usijaze chakula, ule anakufuata ajaze zaidi, ikifika 3 4 no food, and then the owners feel embarrassed. Kindly just put a little food enough, na wewe ujue kama kuna watu. Piga mahesabu, mathematics, hiyo formula, utaona nikiweka kidogo wengine watapata. Begin practicing kwenu leo kwanza, ndio mkifika kwa wengine ikwe rahisi. Before you eat at home and you serve yourself, inquire. Kuna wengine wanakula, ukiambiwa hakuna, you are able to eat everything, but just put enough, kindly. Because sometimes we embarrass ourselves. I see that when we go out for quite a number of meetings in hotels. And sometimes I get embarrassed. Mtu anataka changanye ile appetizer, changanye na ile chakula na dessert on one plate. Na ni hivi. Na anabeba, is very proud. You know, haikaingi vizuri. Na unajua sasa, sisi hata ndio hao wanatakana kuwa ati ndio wakubwa. Na tumekaa namna hii. So it's not good. Just have enough. Na ukienda mahali pa courses, kindly anza na hizo course vile zinafatana. chukua supu yako, nenda ukae na usijaze kama ambaye hakutakuja. Usijaze kama ambaye chakula ndio hiyo ndio wa mwisho. Take your soup, at least a half a cup. Wewe kuna zile bowls, nusu usijaze na usiende kuongeza. Alafu peleka uketi, jiweke ile napkin vizuri, alafu ukunwe, na kama kuna toast, take that ka one piece, usijaze nyingi. Kula moja na hiyo supu yako, maliza. Inuka, nenda ukasavu. Na sasa umeona nyama, umeona kuku, umeona ingine na ukaona ingine. Sasa unataka zote kwa zote. Chagua angalau hata kama ni proteins 2 pamoja na carbohydrate 2, kama ni chapati na kamchele kidogo. Na sasa usiweke nyingi nyingi, kidogo. Alafu kama kuna vitamins, vegetable, weka kama ni aina moja. We mwenyewe tumbo ni yako, changanya tu. Si utakuwa ni wewe peke yako. Weka hiyo vitamin kama ni moja. Kama if you choose to take the fried, let's say kama ni spinach. Ukichukua hiyo fried spinach na kuna ile salad, hiyo salad weka kidogo na usichanganye na ile dressings ziko za aina zote. Utaumia. Peleka, nenda ukae ule. Na kile chakula umeweka, maliza. Weka kando, urudi ndio uende uchukue dessert. Dessert inaweza kuwa kuna keki, kunaweza kuwa kuko na keki na custard, kuna fruit salad, kunaweza kuwa na ice cream. Usichanganye zote. Wajua na nyinyi pia huwa mengine mnajua wenyewe. Ndio napata sasa. Mshamaliza sasa. Pole pole. By the way, by that time tumbo hata yenyewe inaanza kukuon pole pole. Sasa wewe kama ni ice cream utakula, kula ile ice cream. Ice cream inaweza kwenda na ile salad. Unaweza kuweka kidogo hata kwa salad. Lakini usiweke ice cream, umeweka fruit salad, ukaona maembe, wewe unayapenda tayari, ukaweka. Just eat like the salad and the ice cream. Ama ile keki na ile custard, kula inaweza kuwa na ka piece of something and something, kula hiyo peke yake. Ukimaliza, huwa kawaida wanauliza what drink will you take? Uanze kupiga mahesabu. Chukua hata kama ni fruit juice moja, ikusaidie ile tumbo, digestion iwe iko sawa. Usianze tena. Tuko pamoja? Sasa tusiaibishane tukienda. Some homes go through all those processes. Na sasa ikifika ile kushika uma na kijiko, ikifika kushika ile uma na kijiko, na saa nyingine wanaweka nyingi. Ukiangalia hivi 6 huku, 3 huku. Usijisumbue mambo mengi. Chukua ile unajua moja. Chukua tu ile moja. Ile umezoea. Tumia hiyo. Achana na hizi zingine ziko hapo kwa mapambo, sawa? Tumia hiyo moja umalize. Ikifika ni kuku umechukua, si mlikuwa mumenawa mikono, ama kama si mikono umepewa ile towel. Kuna siku moja tulienda na marafiki wakaniaibisha, towel wanajifuta naye uso. The hot towel. Unajua hatukuzaliwa na hizi vitu, si ndio? Tukubali kwamba hizi vitu hatukuzaliwa nazo kwetu. Lakini ukienda kwa some families, they actually go through all those courses. Ukipata ile towel imekuwa rolled, wewe bado unatafuta maji ya kunawa. Maji yako wapi? Na ndio maji ndio hayo tayari. Ukipewa ile towel, ndugu yangu, ichukue, futa mikono, huwa kuko na basket hapo ya itupa. Usifikirie umeambiwa uoge. Alafu ukija umemaliza, si utaletewa nyingine kama ni towel. Kama ni kusafisha mikono, umesafisha kabla ya kula, umeenda ukakuta kuna knives na forks na nini, na kuna mguu wa kuku. Wacha kung'ang'ana na fork, na mguu wa kuku ni mkono tu. Chukua tu, shika vizuri, lakini pia usikule ile ya nyam nyam nyam, sasa ndio umefurahi. Jaribu kuwa mungwana. Unapunguza volume ya kutafuna hata kama umefurahia. And then don't keep talking with food in your mouth, inarukaruka. Na wewe ndio story imebamba. You know it's not good. Kwa hivyo unakula, hiyo inaitwa table etiquette, si ndio? Na kama hujui cha kufanya, unaona haya mambo yanakuchanganya, na mko wawili watatu, angalia mwenzako anafanya nini, we ufanye. Kiplani tu, unacheki, na hapo saa hiyo uko sawa, hujui hata hiyo serviette ndio gani. Wewe waona ni kitambaa cha Muangalie vile ninaangalia David anafanya nini, nachukua na mimi pia na repeat. Amechukua which fork, mimi nitachukua hiyo fork. Ukiona vya kukanganya ni nyama, unaruhusiwa na mkono wako kula tu baadaye, alafu unafuta mkono na serviette, unaweka pale kwa side plate. Tuko pamoja? Ukimaliza kuvuta kuangura kiti, sasa ndio unaenda umekula, wewe uko ni wewe sasa. Tafadhali taratibu, kuwa muungwana. Ustaarabu ndio unaonyesha you have etiquette. Tuko pamoja? Alafu kisha kula, siku hizi kuna ka part of etiquette naona kameingia, kutoa nyama kwa meno. Na ndio story hivyo sasa. Siku hizi huwa tunafunika mkono, sawa? Alafu manake hatutaki kujua which pieces are coming out of your teeth. Na kama umemaliza kula na ujikute umeenda in the washroom, kama una maji kwa chupa, suza mdomo. Unaweza kutoka huko sukuma zimejipanga kwa meno na wewe ndo story iko juu. Hutakaa vizuri. So, maharage. Kwanza maharage ana tabia moja, ipangike line na saizo wewe ndo mwenye story. So kindly utasuza mdomo, not in the sink pale kwa hoteli. Wakati utakuwa umeenda kwa washroom. So ile sink ya hoteli si ya kutema mate, ama pale kwa sitting room kule ukienda kuingine. Don't spit in the sink in the sitting room. Ukienda kule in the washroom, you can do that. I think about food. Nimemaliza. Alafu, wameamua familia wanawapeleka sapa nje. Don't order for what you don't know. Utajikuta ni vyura tu. Order for what you are comfortable. Usijaribu kuwaonyesha na wewe pia uko ikiletwa, you have no idea where to start. If the family says we are going out, just be simple. Ama kile wana order, if it is something you know, just order for that. And then don't order for something more expensive than what the family is ordering. Wote wameenda kula chips, na pengine mfuko uko hapo. Wewe unasema mimi naona kama kunaweza kuwa na sima kidogo, nyama na mboga. And probably hapo sima ni 400. Kwa hivyo ningeomba wewe kuwa nyuma kidogo ukiwa kwa mtu. Anybody else with a question? Yes, Des.
Okay, bado tu ni kwa chakula. Okay, so for example, nimekuja kwako. Alafu sasa umepika chakula mimi niko na allergy nayo. Ama umepika tu chakula na clearly mimi naona imeungua. Ama naona hii kitunguu na haijaiva. Sasa what do I do? Do I just eat nikiignore alafu baadaye niharibikiwe na tumbo? Ama nianze kuzitoa niseme hizi hapana, hizi siwezi kula? What do I do?
You had a question? Hi.
So my question was, we have actually dwelt a lot on the etiquette of the visitor. So what is the etiquette that I should anticipate as a host? Or what etiquette should I display as a host?
Clap for him. That is good.
Me, I have several. Sasa, how to, as a host, how do you correct someone? Unaona, politely, hiyo ni ya kwanza. Alafu, kuna time hiyo, what can I do? How to offer yourself as help, sindio? I was telling you where their etiquette standards are lower. So, it was time for laundry. So the way they wash ni kuweka nguo kwa basin and then we step on them. Alafu sasa okay, uko na nguo za white, you know nguo zinaoshwa separately. Them they don't know that. Ni mix, step on as many as you can zikisonga. And you're trying to correct them on that. Alafu pia ingine ni jikoni. Another time, how can I help? Nikaenda jikoni. Alafu nasikia mtu akiniambia kitunguu haioshwi. Okay, alafu okay, you know usafi. Kuna hiyo kitunguu haioshwi. Mtu anapikia mwiko, anaeka chini, anageuka huko, alafu anachukua tena anarudisha kwa chakula, anafanya tu. Alafu another one is yeah, the way they cook. Unaona tuseme the way they mix the ingredients. See, you know how to do it, but then umekuja as help and you want to take over. How do you help in such a?
Nitaanza hapo pa ya mwisho. How they cook, their method of cooking. Wacha kwanza hapa pa hygiene. How they cook. Does the food cook? There are different ways of cooking. Waweza ukapika nyama ukakaanga, ama yote ukaiweka kwa sufuria na kitunguu na bado itaiva. So how they cook, you cannot go to somebody's house and change unless they ask you, kwenu watoka Mombasa huwa nasikia mwapika vizuri, hebu njoo utupikie. Now then you can cook the way you know. But kama wanapika in a certain way, respect that. And then you even ask, unataka nifanye aje? Weka kila kitu, changanya, haya koroga, funika. Usianze kusema, You can politely say, there are many ways of cooking. Like this is a new one I'm learning now. There is a nice way of saying a bad thing. So unasema tu, this is a new one. Unajua kwetu sisi huwa tunafanya, but this one now I know. And you'll cook. Ameongea about hygiene. Where you go there, like for example, kunaekwa mwiko chini, anaonja na mwiko, na we umefundishwa usifanye hivi, mate inarudi ndani ya hiyo sufuria. Itategemea uhusiano wako na hao ambao uko nao. Kama ni umazi ambaye mimi nimezoeana naye, ule ukaribu, na ameniambia sasa helping hapo umeambiwa ufanyeje, pia uonje ama depends on the part you've been told to help. Nimepewa part yangu ya kuhelp, wewe utapika hii, mimi nitapika hii. I will follow hygiene because ameniruhusu nipike. I'll do it the right way. But I cannot, yeye kule anafanya chengine anaonja, sitafanya kama yeye. Haja niambia onja, ameniambia nisaidie kupika hii. Mwiko kama ananiambia chukua huo mwiko ulete tu tukoroge. Of course nitamwambia I can rinse it. Leta tu kidogo tu, let me rinse alafu nikupe nicely. Depending on the part you're coming in. There are those that are rigid. Pengine hamko karibu sana. You might probably say, while you are cooking, can I help some other work? Because if you stand there and watch how the food is being cooked, you might not eat. So, wisdom would be like, can I help something else that can I sweep out something? There was the other one you asked. You asked 3. The host. Oh, yes. Okay. You've come in as the one being hosted, na umekuja tu na vitabia vingine, tunasema rutabia. Unajua, those ones that are not very good. And as a host, umeingia na matope, viatu kacha na umekaa. Pengine it is a home where pengine kiti kuna kiti cha baba. Kile kiti ni cha baba, wewe hukungoja uambiwe welcome, have a seat here, ushaingia ushakikalia. As a host, what can you do? I think wisdom would tell you, first let this person relax, and then you can, if it is a chair, depending on what this person is doing wrong, you can say, kindly, Sophie, I think you need to move here so that from here you can be able to see, or just have a seat this way, move from there, this is more comfortable. Now the shoes, na matope yote, na amekaa. I'm giving examples. You could say, hey, naona viatu pengine tutazisafishia nje, wacha tutoe, tuweke nje. There is politeness in how you, even wewe, vile utaongea. Usianze na mahasira, na wewe ni wa wapi wewe? No. Pengine ameingia na ndio huyo hajui bedroom ya mwenye nyumba iko wapi, yeye yuko rrr. I think depending on what this person is doing, that the host is offended about, you will deal with it on its own merit. Kama hiyo, kuna wengine wetu hatujui privacy ya nyumba ya mtu. If there is one thing you cannot do is to get into the bedroom ya mwenye nyumba. So probably I as the host, namkuta ndo huyu, tuko naye tayari ndani ya nyumba. Yani vile nafungua macho ndio huyu amesimama hapa. So sintamwambia, just excuse me, tutakutana sitting room, I'm coming. Pengine anauliza kitu, nauliza nini na yuko ndani tayari. Sasa ni kumwambia ningoje, I'll answer you. Nikitoka nje, sintamjibu ila alikuwa nataka. And then later on nitamwambia nilikuwa naomba that room ni kwangu, so you can, your side ni huku, usije upande ule. Sawa? Depending also on who the person is. And if you're the one being corrected, kubali correction. But you must address the thing that offends you as a host. Usiacha aende na pengine huku mcorrect, pengine unamsaidia. Etiquette of the host. Number one, the host must be warm. Again, the same principles. You are considerate of the people who are coming to your house. You are respectful, and there must be integrity. You don't have to bend backwards for the people that you are hosting. If they truly love you, they'll meet you where you are at. They'll appreciate who you are, because the home is the person, not the house. Kama unalala, nyote mnalala kwa jamvi, you do not have to borrow beds for these ones who are coming. Wacha walale vile nyinyi pia huwa mnalala. Of course, there are basic things that we expect. Hygiene, those are etiquette that are normal for everybody. Tuna expect usafi na wewe. Lakini kama ni maharage ndio unaweza, you'll prepare that. Of course, you'll try to make them a bit comfortable, warm, talk to them, but let them fit in with your situation. If you are a family person, kama kuna kitu nitasema leo, naomba usitoe watoto kwa bedroom yao na kuambia pisheni wageni. That one, no. Probably, if there are many bedrooms, kama ziko nyingi, na pengine kila mtoto akona yake, you are able to say, okay, we are having a guest, who and who will share? We need one room. But if it is the only bedroom, the worst thing you can do is tell the children, now, nyinyi, kujeni mlale sitting room. Mgeni atalala bedroom. Why? Because I realized many later on in life grow up hating hosting visitors in their homes, because they were made to be uncomfortable in their childhood. Especially a home that hosts many visitors. Pastors' homes, some of them, elders' homes, and so forth. So I think if you are offering to host people, you know the facility you have. So you should be able to say, I'm going to host you people, but I can only afford the sitting room. If you do not mind sleeping in the sitting room, then you can come. But don't move the children from the bedroom. If you are being hosted in a small home, hapo ndio sitting room, ndio asubuhi mtaamka, ndio tena ikuwe sitting room. We rauka. Wacha kulala sasa ndio unajinyosha on the only chair there is. Jaribu kuamka mapema so that it doesn't become embarrassing for the host. Wanakuja wanachungulia umelala, hawajui wakuamshe, wanaenda. Na hapo ndio watu wanataka kunywa chai. Hapo ndio watu wanataka kukaa waone TV. Wanakuja tena bado unangorota, tena unaenda. So wewe ukijua, let's say for example the house is small na umewekwa sitting room, wewe ndio ukwe wa kwanza kuamka, so that you can allow them to clean, turn it into a sitting room, na maisha iendelee. So as a host, I have said, do not bend backwards unless we mwenyewe unataka, but it shouldn't be mandatory, so that it's not a burden to host people. You are not feeling haki hawa wameniumiza hawa, hey, na vile hatuna, uende umengangana. But when you agree to host, count the costs. The other thing also, as a host, you cannot be a thief. I'm saying something that is real. There are hosts, of course, tumeokoka hapa hatuwezi kuwa waizi, but integrity. You are ransacking vitu vya mgeni. Akienda pengine wameenda mission, wewe ndio umebaki na bags zao, you are also again ransacking, especially ladies. We cannot be doing that because pengine uliona wana vitu vizuri. Tabia mbaya sana. Respect the privacy of the people you are hosting, and as much as possible, try to make them feel safe, try to make them feel loved, provide what you can within your means. And when they are leaving, at least express gratitude that they actually chose your home. It's an honor. Those were your angels for that time. Hata kama ukuona mabawa, yatakuja baadaye. But you know, you have honored God just opening your home. So I think basically that's what, unless there's something I've left out. You still have a question? Oh, and then you'll ask, eh? He still has another question.
Okay. Sami was asking, unajua kuna wale wageni wanakuja and maybe they have a smelly feet. So you as the host, how do you manage that situation?
Smelly feet, smelly kwapas. Akifanya hivi na sasa yeye ndio wa story, basi the whole sitting room inakuwa ni kama kuna fan ambayo inapita harufu mbaya. You've not had those. There are those ones with natural body odors, and by evening, because imechanganyikana na harufu ya sweat, inakuwa na saa hiyo ndio mgeni wako mashuhuri. You know, okay, shuleni unakuta huyo ndio mtoto ana maswali yote, anakujanga tu karibu na wewe, ndio anakuuliza how madam, na ananuka. You know why? Because there are some with natural body odors. Now, what do you do with such smelly feet, smelly body odors? I think this is what I'll tell you. It's very hard for you to start correcting this person now, but immediately mtu akiingia na unasikia kuna harufu, there is normally a nice hospitality habit that we do as a host. And nimekuwekea maji bathroom, sijui kama utaoga. Sasa, this is your room. Welcome. Bag wacha nikusaidie. Nampelekea kwa room, alafu namwambia saa slippers ziko pale, ama kama amekuja na zake ni sawa, so tafadhali karibu sana. Don't you think you have solved a problem? So if you notice as they come in, kuna shida kama hiyo, alafu utamwambia, alafu zile nguo zako chafu, pengine hatutaosha leo. Zile ambazo utabadilisha utaweka, pengine hiyo kesho tukitoka mission, tutaosha. Because kunaweza kuwa wale wa kurudisha kwa mwili, hiyo nguo ambayo so kama ameoga, na akona natural body odor, ama ananuka, na hiyo nguo irudi, utakuwa hujafanya kazi. Utakuwa bado ndo unaumia. So find a way of being wise, and usianze kufanya pua, umesikia. Don't show etiquette. Etiquette. Tunajaribu with a smile, but still you'll have solved a problem. Unaanza kufungua madirisha, and then if you have those children who say loud, nani ananuka hapa? Nini inanuka? You almost wish you can send them to visit their uncles, ndio? So, like such a person, if you are sensitive from the door, unamkaribisha vizuri, unamwambia, unamuonyesha akioga, unajua itakuwa imepungua. And you'll have solved it. Any other question? Amenda wapi? He had a question.
Maybe just to follow up about the host etiquette. Maybe I'm a little bit confused by the scriptures, or perhaps I stand to be guided, that when Jesus was sending his disciples, he told them that they should not carry anything. They should just go and everything will be provided. And you have just guided us as when we are visitors, that we should carry our personal effect. But as a guest, also have to take precautions so that in the event that you have not carried your personal effect, I can actually avail them to you. So as a host, should I inquire whether you have carried maybe your toothbrush, or should I just avail them to you? And also, if a person has allergy, should I inquire on what the allergies are or things of the sort? And also, another scenario is where, for example, in a Luya home, the drumstick is meant for the head of the house. The gizzard is actually meant for the head of the house, and it can be disastrous if the head of the house does not see the gizzard on his plate. So we are on a self-service, and I'm a visitor. So should the host intervene by doing this serving, or should they just leave me to struggle with that in mind, that okay, I do not need to take the drumstick or something of the sort?
Thank you very much. I think the first question was about the host, and whether they should carry, even as a host, there are things you can't share. There are personal effects you can't share. You cannot, if you avail a towel, let that person go away with that towel afterwards. If you are going to avail, nowadays we don't even share soap because of our current situation in terms of diseases. If you are availing for them, some of those things are toothbrush, soap, a towel. After they leave, let them go with them, because you cannot use them again. And we are talking about towel here, knowing that you are not a hotel where you have probably a laundry machine, probably you don't disinfect. And you can end up passing on things like pubic lice and things like that to the next visitor. So as much as you might decide to have backup, the backup that you keep, you should be careful what you keep. Like something like toothpaste, that's okay. I mean, he might have forgotten, but when he leaves, he doesn't have to go away with it. But sharing of combs, we don't encourage. And that's why we are talking to us. In this era, we don't even trust one another as brothers and sisters, in the same home, because I don't know umepitia wapi. And then you said, so you can provide backup as a host, but then those ones, the personal effects that to be shared, let them go away with them. We are talking about something like a basin that they cannot go away with. but at least we should have some disinfectant so that akioga, akimaliza, let it be disinfected. A little Dettol tu kwa maji so that somebody else can use without getting infected. He mentioned the second one. Yes, self-service. In some homes, there are certain set codes of serving. That's why the main rule is when we are coming for self-service and we have the owner of the home, we hutatangulia? Si yeye ndio anatangulianga you know, you cannot start serving yourself unless you are asked, kindly serve. Now, if you know you are in a Luya home, na unajua mwenyewe ndio huyu Sister Kolo, utauliza, madam, kindly serve me. Hapo pakuku hapo. Mwambie yeye akuserve. You know you will not make a mistake. Nowadays we go and buy a whole kilo of gizzards from Naivas. Tunazikulanga huko alafu huko nyumbani hatukuli. But then what you might do at that point, just tell her to serve you. And then, if possible, allow the owner of the house to be served first. Because in most homes, anasaviwa kwanza. So the rest will not be a problem. Unless I've not answered. Yes. Please, musijipeleke kujiserve. In most homes, again, we have this issue of plate service, where they plate the food, wanakuletea, unakuta, sima imewekwa kidogo, mboga kando, na kama ni nyama kando. Now, some of us come from homes where unajikatia mwenyewe. Ama mnapanda mlima huku, yeye huko, you meet in the center, chakula inaenda. Don't bring your code of eating kwa nyumba ya mtu. Umeletewa, because some of us keep saying, no, you know, I don't mix my ugali na supu, weka kando. Just eat. Nani, Des said something. I didn't answer your question. Des alisema, how do I refuse chakula ambayo itaniletea allergy? And I think you mentioned something about allergy. Chakula ambayo itanipa allergy, naona nafika najua mimi niko na ulcers. Hii chakula sili. I think it will also depend on who you are with. Wewe mwambie pole pole, the owner of the house, the lady of the house. Utasema, thank you very much for the food. I have this condition. I might not be able, but I don't want to inconvenience you. So they will, if it is a good host, atasema, oh, sorry, we didn't know. So can we make you tea? Or can we make you something else? And tell them, if it will not inconvenience you, that's okay. But if it will inconvenience you going back to the market, I can survive. Na sayo unasikia njaa kweli. But for sure, you cannot inconvenience them. Kwanza hulipi. So, what we are saying politely. Desa kauliza, chakula kimeungua. Na ndio kiko hapo. Swali ni, wengine wanakula? Mko familia hiyo, wengine wanakula? Ama wamezoea? Wao wamezoea. Kwako ni shida. Si kuna part ambayo iko sawa? Kula hiyo part ambayo iko sawa. It's very bad to leave food on the plate. Wakati wa kuserve ulisaviwa ama ulijiserve? Kama ulijiserve, ungeavoid pale pameungua. Kama umesaviwa, just eat the part that you feel will not affect you. Usidondoe kitunguu. Usidondoe kile kitunguu kimeungua openly. If you know it will affect you. Have a way of doing it discreetly. Na siniwe ndio utapeleka sahani yako jikoni. You wrap the food in a paper, zile mbaya, and put in the dustbin. But don't do it so openly. But if there is a way when you are serving yourself, if it's self-service, then don't put the burnt part. Haya, kama chote kimeungua, wengine wanakula, utakula. Itabidi ukule kidogo kuonyesha, basi weka kidogo, kidogo sana. Then, yeah. So always think about others. How would you want to react? Wewe niambie naturally, wewe utafanyaje? Njoo hapa sana. Kama chakula kimeungua, utasema, mnasikia vile Sami anasema? Atawaambia asante sana, nilipitia mahali nikakula. Na Yesu anaona hiyo uongo tu. Na inaandikwa, you don't have to lie. Just be considerate of others. Eat a bit, not the burnt part. Weka kidogo sana. Kula a bit of it. Sawa? Kuna hizo nguo. See, they came under the method. Sasa hizo nguo mnasaidiana hiyo kukanyaga. Is there a way that you can talk and say, nilikuwa nauliza, tuweke hizi white kando, tukanyaga hizi zingine? Kama wameweka utakanyaga. Utakanyaga. Anauliza nguo zimechanganywa ina basin. Na unakuta wameweka zote. Haya, tusaidie. Wewe umeenda kusema nisaidie vipi? Anakanyaga. Sasa unaambiwa tusaidie kukanyaga. Na he doesn't believe in that. Manake the white one will not work. Now I think you cannot start correcting them if that is the way they do. Utakanyaga tu, lakini utajua hukuja kuishi hapo for good. Si ndio? Yeah, for their sake. Because if you start kuwakosoa, ni kama wewe mission yako ilikuja kuwaonyesha vile wewe you are better. No, just kanyaga, maliza, muanike, utasema, hii ni style ingine. Hii hata huwa siijuangi. Wacha tukanya, ati nyi huwa mwoshaje? Sisi huwa tuna separate, white, tunafanya hivi, but then you are kanyagaring. You never know. They might say, ebu tutumie hiyo style yako tuone. Be wise. It's how you communicate. Pale pa communication. Be wise in how you bring in your point. If it can't work, go with them. Any last question? Yes, my dear.
Okay, so my question, you see, like in high school, in campus, we have both male and female, and you find now most people you'll find wamepatana campus, so unapata wavulana wanakatia wasichana and etc. So you'll find in this scenario, unapata mvulana anakatia this girl, and the girl knowing too well about etiquette, you're like replying, like saying no in a proper manner, but now the guy hataki, like here haelewi. So do you have to compromise na umwambia like sikutaki nini mbaya na wewe, si nimekwambia? And you know too well, by saying that, the boy like now mental health, like mentally, because the guys wanapitia like when rejection, it's there's the mentally, like it's like you're affected. So there's a manner in which you politely tell them a no, but so unapata kuna wale hawataki kuelewa that it's a no. So do you have to be rude, or like what do you do in such a scenario?
Thank you very much. That's a very good question. Would you have to compromise to preserve the mental health of the young man? I would just want to ask that question. That's a good question. Manake hapa nimeona hiyo macho, hata wale walikuwa wamelala wameamka hapo wanataka kujua kukoje. Yes, come Masi. Unaona Masi anakuja. Yes, Masi, come. Aya. Thank you very much. Reverse psychology. Wakati we umemkataa, ndio anaamua sasa ngoja. Wacha tutumie. Ujue nao pia wamesoma psychology. Wako hapa hata pia wanasikia tu. In fact hapo hata kitu cha kwanza, when he approached you, na hata sijui kama tuko kwa etiquette, tuendelee tu. When he approached you and you said no, there's something that the presbyter told us. The nature of the man is to chase. Ukisema no, sasa ndio umemweka moto, kwani no hapo kuna nani? Akisha kupata tu, kwisha, tuanze mwingine. Story ya jogo, shapata kuku huyu, haya. Mwingine, haya. Now, when you say no to this young man, and he continues, the Bible says, let your no be no. Let your yes be yes. There's nothing about mental health. Ako sawa kabisa, akija kwako, imeanza kuharibikia kwako, ndio sasa. Wengine husema, kama vile amesema, atamaliza, atathreaten hata kujinyonga kwa ajili yako. You are not responsible for his choice of death. Hiyo ni yeye mwenyewe ameamua. So, remain firm, not rude. Firm, but not rude. And let your no be no. Stop communicating. Our problem is one. Wadada sote tuko hivyo. Akisha sema atakufa ati haya basi usife. Lest I'm called a killer. Like she's saying, Mombasa especially, what Mas is saying is so real. When they say no, when you tell them no for a long time, wanakusanya. In fact, they will sit njiani, pale unapenda kupita. Alafu, umemkataa huyu, sasa ametafuta wenzake. Wanakungojea because they know where it hurts you most. Vile umefika tu, wamuona huyu bana, hana kitu. Basi, and in Mombasa wanajua hayo kweli kweli. Hana kitu, hana maana, msichana nyinyi, hata msimjaribu. Mwenyewe hata nishamwacha. Ana shida kama nini. So they are talking so that it hurts you. And then afterwards now, whenever you pass, all of them start insulting you. You see, it depends also, wewe mwenyewe, what is the state of your heart? What is the state of your heart? When you said no, did you mean it? It does not matter what anybody else says. You know yourself. You know your stand. In fact, what they do, they end up saying, hata unishampata mimi. Huyu ataachana nini naye? Juzi tulikuwa naye kule, sijui wapi wapi, and you have never been with them. Kindly get to understand that is called reverse psychology. And if it does not work, they leave you alone. Hata shikwa na wazimu, na hiyo reverse psychology will not work. Let your no be no. Keep your own purity. Na usijaribu to give in order to please them, because you'll only have opened a Pandora box. So there's nothing about them not understanding. It is because this is how we go about it. We've been there and I think we know. Aja kwambie. Ni kuambia jana bwana, following you through the lecture halls. When you come around yuko hapo. Mara sijui simu ndio huyo na wewe washika. Why don't you block him? Number one. Anajib, but I've been trying to explain to you. Wajua mimi sijui. What are you explaining? As you give opportunity for conversation, then slowly it affects your thinking. Because they know, if they push hard enough, they'll get your weak spot. Because in a multitude of words, unaacha kagap. Hawa watu ni psychologists. Bwana unaona hapa vile wamekaa. They are good in psychology. So, can you keep your no? Let it be no. Mercy, amekuita nani, amekuita nani. Keep your dignity. Na upite, don't answer. You don't have to be rude. Don't lower yourself to their level. You are better than that. I think that's what I can answer.
Thank you so much. Wow, that was quite a session. Si mnakubali? So maybe we can, I hope there are no more questions. I hope we've learned. Personally, I've learned a lot. So maybe we can clap for her for the job well done. Okay, now there are no more questions, so I'd love to invite Mercy Mashia to come and give a vote of thanks. Please let's clap for her as she comes. To clap akafiki.
Praise God. Hey, Madam Sophie. Nimeweza kumuita Auntie Sophie. Amekuwa my mom since I was young. Amekuwa na mimi akiniguide. So, okay. Sikuwa na-expect kama atasema vitu nyingi kama sijui kubeba shit, sijui nini. Mpaka imebidi nipunguze akili ya kuja sleepover. Lakini I hope you have learned. Thank you so much for everything that you have told us. We are going to practice. Pole pole, mpaka tunazoea. Si ndio? We appreciate her. We appreciate her. Let's appreciate her, please. Thank you. May God bless you.
Thank you, Mercy. Let's clap for her. Okay. So, yeah, najua sasa tuko na njaa. Lakini we thank God for our youth committee team. There's a team there wametuandalia mapochopocho. So, yeah, so after hapa we shall go and